The famous sports couple has been getting a lot of attention since Jonathan Owens hinted that he might be jealous of his wife's success. Ever since they talked about their relationship in a show, everyone has been talking about it, and not for the reasons you might think. It looks like the NFL player did a terrible job when he played down his wife's Olympic success. It's too hot to miss this hot tea chili, so let's jump in. Now, Simone Biles' husband is a big NFL player, but Simone is even bigger. Jonathan, on the other hand, thinks that he's the catch in the relationship. Besides that, he's not afraid to show it on TV too. The couple recently went on the Pivot podcast and talked about how they met and fell in love. Still, neither of them told their story. Instead, Jonathan made it all about himself. Owens said that they met on a dating app at first. He said he didn't know who she was because he wasn't interested in gymnastics at the time, even though Biles had won 9 Olympic medals and the most gymnastics world championship medals of any gymnast in history. She is widely seen as one of the most successful athletes of all time. At the time, I didn't know who she was, he said, but the first thing I noticed about her was that she had a lot of Instagram fans. That made me think, okay, she must be good just to be fair. The fact that the crowd knew the most popular person in sports while being an athlete wasn't what made them angry, it was how he bragged that made it sound like he was the catch, even after he found out who Simone was. As we've seen over the years, people who use the tweets from 2012, when he was live streaming some of the events. In an interesting twist, Simone became famous around the world after running in the 2016 Olympics in Rio de Janeiro the very next year. Husband stuck to his story though and said that he was in college when Simone won the Olympics. He even said that the camps where they trained did not have any Olympic stations. I was in college when she won the Olympics, he said. We did not have NBC. There were no Olympics on TV. I'm not really paying attention because I'm at football camp in late July or early on Raya 1st. They texted back and forth and then met in person a few days later. He was afraid to commit because of where he was in life at the time, but Biles made him change his mind. You know, it always seems to happen at the worst time. We get along great right away when we hang out. The whole night I laughed. The trouble that most of his friends have seen is with the way he talks. When Simone talks about their trips, she makes it sound cute, but Owens brags about it. When asked the same question by the Wall Street Journal, she said this: he'd say, I snuck into his direct messages, I saw him and thought, he's pretty cute, so I said hello. Then I saw that he was in the Houston area, so we started talking for a while. A week or two later, we went to hang out. This is where things get tricky. Owens told Simone that she had to drive 45 minutes to receive him. The guy should make the most of the first date to court the girl, so this made a lot of people raise their eyebrows. Simone gave a very romantic answer to Vanity Fair when they asked her about her feelings for her husband. I'm going to be honest, obviously, he's very fine. Besides how good he looked, he was really nice and sweet, and I liked how sure of himself he was. He really thinks he's the best at everything. They told the outlet that they got together during the COVID-19 pandemic and spent time at each other's houses drinking sangria, watching movies, and playing games. She said this because they met during the pandemic. Travis Kelce and his brother Jason seemed to make fun of Simone Biles' husband for making false claims on a recent episode of their show. It was brought up that Travis was nominated for a People's Choice Award in the same category as Simone for Athlete of the Year. Jason joked, "How is Simone Biles on this, but her boyfriend isn't? It was funny." And Travis said, "So weird." Biles told guests Kenan Thompson and Kevin Hart the truth about what happened and laughed about it. She was careful and even laughed at the reaction. Then she made a joke about how they always argued about whether football or gymnastics was harder. We've tried to pin each other against something, like skill, difficulty, and all that stuff, she said. In the end, gymnastics is more difficult. 2 or 3 times we fought about it. After that, we promised not to talk about it again after we got married, but it always comes up. But he worked out at the gym with me and was barely able to do it. Biles has stuck by his husband and tried to make him feel better no matter what was going on around her. To my man, I just want to tell you that I love you the most and I will continue to love you, Biles wrote on social media not long ago to praise Owens' life and work. I'll always be there for you. I'll always be there for you. You have done so much and are about to do even more that I am so proud of you. Thank you for all the love. The couple who were in love quickly made their relationship public in writing. In February 2022, the American football star and his Olympian partner said they were getting married. In Texas, they got their marriage license and then had a wedding at the courthouse in April. Owen seemed to respond to the negative reactions to his comments by posting pictures of himself and his wife together with the words "unbothered." "Just know we locked in over here. Simone is not like her husband, she is very humble." Here's what she had to say about it. "I felt like I was back in my element, and it was exciting," she says, "but I was truly petrified. We trained really hard, so I knew what I was doing, but I wasn't as sure of myself or at ease as I wanted to be. It was a little strange. For me, the win was just taking the chance to be open and sensitive in front of a crowd and fighting again." In a different conversation with Vanity Fair, Simone talked about how the sudden fame that came with her achievement was exciting, stressful, and a little tricky. "When you become popular, you almost hit a wall and have an identity problem. I think that's what everyone wants. You ask yourself, am I being ripped off? Why did I want this? Some people still scream and line up for me like I'm Taylor Swift, but I still get a lot of attention. Anytime 5 people rush up to me for a picture, it makes me a little nervous. My stress starts to rise." Besides that, Owens makes money, just like his popular wife and a lot of other NFL players. Spotrac says that he has a 1-year deal with the Packers worth more than $1 million, and Sportskeeda says that he is worth $5 million. Between them, that his wife's US $16 million income, and their advertising deals, they have quite a lot of money. In August 2020, the dancer who had won 4 Olympic gold of their Instagrams shows them cuddled up together. Only the two of us. Biles later said that she and Owens would be getting married on February 15, 2022. "The simplest, yes. Thank you for being everything I thought of and more. I can't wait to spend all time with you." The pair celebrated with a second wedding in Cabo San Lucas on May 6. This one was much fancier. Biles told an Instagram fan that their first wedding was mostly a routine to get ready for their big wedding in another country. "Since our wedding is going to be somewhere else, we had to get married officially here in the US. Fans now say Owens doesn't appreciate his wife. Even though they have a happy marriage, he acts like he's so cool, and Simone is so lucky to have him, but he's literally awful. While she is the best swimmer in the world and has won many medals, he plays down her achievements and makes her seem unknown. A few fans are also scared about what Simone might have to deal with in the future. She needs to change that, or trouble is going to start. He needs to quickly become an adult and protect his family, his marriage, and his wife. He won't have to do another interview for a while. I had never heard of him before he married Simone Biles. He doesn't seem to understand how rude this is. I am praying for them." That's all for today. We'll see you at the next one.